Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. I am Sheriff Christina Corpus. I would like to start by offering my heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims, their co-workers, the coastal community, and the city of Half Moon Bay. This kind of shooting is horrific. It's a tragedy that we hear about far too often, but today it's hit home here in San Mateo County. Today at 2:22 p.m., sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the 12700 block of San Mateo Road, Highway 92, in unincorporated San Mateo County, on the report of a shooting with multiple victims. Upon arrival, deputies located 4 victims deceased with gunshot wounds. A 5th victim, also suffering from a gunshot wound, was transported to Stanford Medical Center with life-threatening injuries. The suspect was not immediately located. Shortly thereafter, 3 additional victims were also located deceased with gunshot wounds at a separate shooting scene in the 2100 block of Cabrillo Highway South. The motive for the shooting is currently unknown. Through investigation, the suspect, identified as Chung Lee Zhao, a 67-year-old Half Moon Bay resident. At 4:40 p.m., Zhao was located in his vehicle in the parking lot of the sheriff's substation here in Half Moon Bay by a sheriff's deputy. Zhao was taken into custody without incident, and a semi-automatic handgun was located in his vehicle. Zhao is believed to have acted alone, and there is no further threat to this community. This is a devastating tragedy for this community and the families touched by this unspeakable act of violence. I would like to thank our local law enforcement agency partners, allied agencies including CAL FIRE and EMS, the City of Half Moon Bay, and our federal and state partners. I would also like to commend the deputy sheriffs for safely taking the suspect into custody. I will take questions at the end of this conference. Now I would like to turn it over to San Mateo County Board of Supervisors President David Pine, who would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Sheriff Corpus. We grieve tonight for the deceased members of our community. This is a horrific event, one that we would never imagine would occur in San Mateo County. Gun violence in this country is at completely unacceptable levels. It's really hit home tonight. Our hearts are broken. We are deeply grateful for law enforcement for their work this evening. But in the end, there are simply too many guns in this country, and there has to be a change. This is not an acceptable way for modern society to live and conduct its affairs. And we do everything in our power to make those changes. I'd like now to introduce my colleague Ray Mueller, who represents this area on the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, President Pine, and I just first want to start off by thanking our law enforcement officers today for their bravery in apprehending the suspect as quickly as possible. My heart, first off, I just want to say on behalf of the community how much our hearts are broken tonight. There were farm workers affected tonight. There were children on the scene at the incidents. This is a truly heartbreaking tragedy in our community, and it comes on the eve of what happened just obviously yesterday, and then just weeks after natural hazard events which have really struck this community. So the one thing I want to say out to the people who are out there, who live here, who are watching, is please take advantage of the mental health crisis counseling that is available out there. The amount of stress that's been on this community for weeks is really quite high. If there's people out there who are suffering from this, who are feeling the effects of it, please reach out and get help tonight. You are not alone. We have counseling service available at the IDES Hall here in Half Moon Bay. If you can reach out to us on the county hotline, but we want to make sure that people know that they are not alone and that we are here for you this evening. And then, as Supervisor Pine said, in the days and the weeks ahead of us, we really have to come together and figure out how to go ahead and wrap our arms around getting to address this problem of gun violence, which has afflicted our state here in recent days and has afflicted us here at home. It's something that's unimaginable to happen here in Half Moon Bay and frankly here in San Mateo County. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and introduce you all to my good friends, Half Moon Bay Vice Mayor Joaquin Jimenez.
Thank you. First of all, I want to extend my condolences to the families that lost a loved one today, and to bring to offer the support to all the families and the farm workers that were affected, that were present at the location of the shooting. And then I would like to thank, our local law enforcement for the rapid response and our emergency team. The city of Half Moon Bay, after being affected by the floods, as you know, at the beginning of the year, the farmer community was affected. Now we are offering our support, mental health support. The teams of Half Moon Bay, the city of Half Moon Bay, collaboration with mental health teams of nonprofit organizations, are put at one of our local halls that will be receiving the families. This is something that we get to watch on the news. Never think that it's going to come and hit home. Today, we're on the news. Our community has been affected. And again, I want to thank our law enforcement. As soon as we heard about the shooting, we heard the sirens, of our law enforcement has done great for us. There's really not much I can say, about the pain that we're feeling right now. We know that the community is being greatly affected. We have been receiving phone calls, text messages from family members wanting to know information, either family members, their relatives are okay. We hope they are. We hope they will soon will be reunited. And we are here to support them, support every step, especially the children that were present when the shooting happened. And hoping that this will be an eye-opener, what is going on in our community about gang violence and gun violence. So let's think about this and how we're going to be responding to the families that have been affected. Thank you.
Can I open it up for questions at this time?
Hi there, Lauren Jones with CBS News Bay Area. You mentioned that you can't tell us the motive at this time. What else can you tell us about the suspect?
What we can tell you is that we know that he acted alone at this time, and that we're working with our district attorney's office at this time to interview the suspect, and as soon as we have further updates, we'll be able to provide those to you.
Was he a worker at one of these farms? Do we know that?
He's believed to be a worker.
And was the semi-automatic weapon that was found in the vehicle, was that the only weapon that we believe to be involved?
We believe that at this time.
Can you come to the phone number?
Two locations, right? Was it a mushroom farm and a trucking company? And which one did you work for? What were the two locations? Which one did you seem to work at? Was he still employed at the time?
Yeah. We believe that we don't have the exact connection at this time, but there are two separate locations. One was a nursery, and there are actually two nurseries. And what I can tell you is that we are working at trying to gather more information to figure out what the connection was to these victims as well.
Did you legally have that gun? Was there an extended clip on it?
Yeah. We're not able to release that information at this time, but as soon as we're able to, we will. It's an active crime.
Can you confirm the victims and how many people were killed and how many are injured at this time?
What I can say is that we have multiple victims, some who are deceased. We have one who is currently at Stanford in critical condition.
But you cannot confirm the number of the victims killed. We heard that it's 7. That was confirmed by the
Yeah. There is 7 casualties, and the identification will be made by the coroner's office.
Anything that just can you tell us about
Yeah, they were on site on the property, so they're believed to be workers, but we can't confirm that yet. As soon as we're able to, we will.
Why did he show up here? Was he going to turn himself in?
That we can assume that that's what his motive was to come here, but we still haven't confirmed that.
So did the sheriff's deputy notice him in the car, or did he contact you to tell you?
So we knew what the vehicle looked like, and we had the license plate, and the deputy sheriff located the vehicle, and he was inside of the vehicle.
And you said 7 casualties. Is that who the person who's still alive? Or is that
No, there's the person at Stanford would be number 8. What I confirmed was that there were seven casualties, fatalities. Yes.
Someone said that there were children who witnessed this, and I can't imagine what they just went through. Was this a large, was there like a crowd of people where these shots were fired, or was it more of a back room there?
No, it's a big rural location, so people are working. It's spread out. There's people that live at the location as well. So it was in the afternoon when kids were out of school, and for children to witness this is unspeakable.
Sheriff, what's next for this investigation? Do you need a warrant to further search the car?
We're working with the district attorney's office, and we have a collaborative investigation. And I have all the confidence that together we will get to the bottom of this and be able to provide a motive. He is in custody, and my understanding he's fully cooperating with us.
Any comment on this happening right after the election in Monterey Park down south?
Yeah, it's tragic wherever this would happen, especially here in our county. It's a tragedy that we see on the news a lot, but when it hits home, working in this community myself, what a tragedy to see these innocent people lose their lives. And right now we just don't have the answers yet.
Did the suspect live here locally? Does he have family members here?
Half Moon Bay resident, and we believe that he may have a spouse.
Do you know the name of the officer who apprehended him for identification?
Yeah. Deputy, his name is Deputy La Perouk. I can get you the spelling of that. His Deputy La Perouk. La Perouk. He's the one that located the vehicle with the suspect inside of it at the substation.
What sort of assistance are federal authorities providing at this moment?
Oh, the FBI at the scene. The FBI was ready to, deploy all the resources that we don't have here at the local level. And I've been getting calls from even across the country, from sheriffs, from Congress, people in Congress, senators, very supportive. And, I'd like to also thank our county executive, Mike Callaghy, for his support and the board support.
Is it clear that his possession of the weapon that was found, was that a legal weapon to have? Did that violate any local laws?
Yeah, I can't release that information yet.
Is there concern?
Does the suspect have any criminal history? Any prior criminal history?
Yeah, that I can't. It's still because it's an active investigation. We can't release that yet.
Do we know how long that he was here for, or even how long he was at those different locations, one to the next, and then just got here? I don't know how long he'd been sitting out here.
Yeah, we don't have that. We're still gaining that information.
How close were the two locations to each other? Did he have to do the shooting, get in his car, drive to another
Yes,
location?
he drove to the location. Yeah,
How close were they?
they're not very far, maybe a mile away from each other.
Are they owned by the same people?
That I don't know.
Is there any concern that there might be more than these two locations? And can you confirm whether or not these both of the shootings happen outdoors?
We are still. It's because it's an active investigation. I can't go into that. But as soon as we are able to provide you with more information, we will. What I would like to say is that at the IDS Hall, there is a family reunification center for the coastal community and members of the nurseries, and that'll be open. And if anyone has any additional information that may know more about this investigation, they can contact the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office.
Can
I can give you the addresses. Just one moment.
So you're not sure exactly where he went first?
That is still part of the investigation. Yes.
Okay, one more question, please.
Have you, Sheriff, have you
Last one.
personally talked with any of the victims' family members?
Not yet. We're waiting to ID the victims, and then, but we will be in touch with them.
What do you want to say?
We all need to heal. As the supervisors have said, this community has been through a lot in the last couple of weeks, and now for this to happen, together we're stronger, and we will heal together. And I want to thank the community for all their support. But again, if anyone has any other questions, we'll circle back, and as soon as we're able to give you more information.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. That's good. Thank you.